Texas Real Estate Radio Network. I'm here with my business partner, Robert Orfino, and this is the start of a new series that we're doing called Comeback. So you guys know we're starting to exit from COVID. Businesses are starting to open back up. And so now what we're doing is we're interviewing businesses and community leaders here in Houston and in Texas that have had major comebacks in their careers. And the gentleman we've got now has got multiple careers in his, or multiple comebacks in his athletic career, in his business career, and also spiritual rebirth with regards to his ministry. And it's a big honor for us to invite Mr. George Foreman to the show. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it a lot.
So, I mean, COVID was tough on everyone, the entire planet and our country, and certainly the state and the city. And again, we're just focusing on folks that are coming out of it. And we wanted to talk to you a little bit about your connection to our community and how your ministry and your youth center and the businesses that you work with, maybe just share a little bit of how you kind of got through COVID.
Hey everyone, this is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. If you could do me a favor and like and subscribe to our YouTube stuff that you're seeing right here, we'd really appreciate it. To be honest with you, we don't really know what it does, but everyone else is asking for it, so we'd love for you to do it for us too. Smash, hit, ring bells, all that good stuff. Hook us up. Thanks.
Well, the thing is with the COVID, it's a battle, and it'll be going on for a while.
Yes.
But the good thing about us, and especially people in this area, we're accustomed to battles. And if they go on, it just makes us stronger. Eventually, we all are going to be better for it. And with that in mind, that's what keeps me going. We have already overcome so many things and better afterwards. So that keeps me encouraged.
We agree 100%. It's the challenges in life that make us better, right?
That's right. And you got to have a lot. And just so happened, I've been around for a long time. I'm accustomed to a lot of battles. With that, you know, I saw the world in fearful and scared of the big polio back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I still have my smallpox vaccination sign. I've got so many things that we've seen come through, and we battled them. We truly battled them, and we are battling people. I guess some of us don't even realize until once we've had a good fight what battlers we are.
What do you think adds to that resiliency? What do you think? Like just the normal business owner or the normal person could just sort of reach down on. Obviously, you're a man of God. You know, what really adds to folks being resilient? What do you think, if you could kind of just give us a little bit of advice on that?
It goes back to, and I've been an athlete all my life, and I realized once I played football, I always wanted to be a football player. And they got me on the team, and I was so happy to put on my cleats and my shoulder pads and everything. And then one day, as the practices started, God hit me and knocked the wind out of me. I never had the wind knocked out of me, first of all. Trying to breathe. And then I had to think while I was on the ground. If you're going to get up, you got to make certain no one knows that you've had the wind knocked out of you. So you learn to act along with it. But first, the trauma, boom. Trauma, act, and then after the day was over, I realized I didn't hurt anymore. So with that experience added onto it, that's what does it. And all of us in life have to be able to go through the same thing. Trauma, then you're acting, and then you realize with experience, it's gonna all be over soon. And that's what have gotten me by, and that's what have helped Houston too. We've always had that kind of fight in us. We want to be in the game, but we understand it's coming. Everything is going to come to you sooner or later. The pain and, you know, the acting and the resiliency. We're going to do it.
And through all that, there's a reward. So, you know, like you said, COVID's going to be here, but we've come to understand it a little bit better over the last, 18, 20 months. And perhaps the world's going to be different on the other side of this, but there's still that sort of upside. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you're looking for on the upside here in Houston and the things that you're doing.
And it's all about, especially in the Houston area, I've been here all the time, but it was all about providing for your family. You look for fun. You got to have a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. But as I have become a grown man, I realized it's all about providing for your family. You got to work. And with that in understanding, always looking for another job to get, another job to do, and never forget the best is yet to come.
Well, that's great. That's excellent.
So, you know, you grew up here in Houston, and one of the things we always wonder, we like to ask a lot of our guests is, what was one of your fondest memories from growing up here in Houston?
Oh, Houston. I love Houston, just like those homing pigeons. They can't get away from where you can't get away from where you're from. I mean, you go back, you never realize what brought you back. You always, I'm back because of church. I'm back because my family. Always a reason. Then the family is gone, everything is gone, and you're still back. So I like Houston because if I didn't feel that feeling about I got to get back home, I don't know where I would be in the world. And you build your whole life around that feeling inside of you. I got to get back for some reason or the other.
Maybe you can just expand on, because the folks who aren't familiar with, you know, the sort of Houston side of you, you do have a church here, you do have a youth center. You just want to talk a little bit about that and what you provide for the community there?
Yeah, I came back originally just to relax after one of my boxing matches, because I had homes all over the country, especially California and different places. And I didn't know where I wanted to live. And I came back for a moment to tell everybody about my religious experience in '77, where I was dead and alive. In a split second, I had this vision. And it just brought me back to Houston to tell that story. And now it's over like 40, almost 44 years. I've been right in the area doing this over and over, telling that story. It brings back, well, I better get my own church where I can kind of lead the service, but I didn't intend to be in church here. It just happened. And along the way, since I'd stopped boxing in '77, I saw some kids in need of a place to work out, to keep them out of trouble. That's all. Not to make a bargain, not to make a buck. And so my brother Roy and I started a George Foreman Youth and Community Center right there in, I guess it would be northwest Houston, across the 59. And I started a youth center just to work with the kids. Next thing you know, I can't leave because I got the youth center. That pigeon's in the trap again. And so it started with that, and that kept me in Houston. Church, the youth center. Then I wanted to box. Come to find out, the best place in the world to train for boxing was Houston, Texas. Although California had a lot of hills to run, but there was nothing like endurance training in Houston, Texas.
Why is that, George? Is it the weather? Is it the humidity? What pushes you there?
And that's the strange, because if you asked me to be specific, I wouldn't be able to. But I knew when I was in California, I was in good shape real quick, and it disappears. But once I got myself stable in Texas, especially around the Houston area, I'd get in this tremendous condition and it would stay. Now, ask me, no, I can't tell you how, but it was a good training. I guess the flat country, you could go out and stay longer because the hills wouldn't, make you run out of breath and say, I got to go home. I fought and trained here and had good youth center, good friends to help you out. People would do things for you. I'd have guys to come over and spar with me for hours and never charge me a dime. So It was home again. Home. How could I leave home?
Let's talk a little bit more about Houston and Texas. We have A lot. So I'm a California transplant. I'm one of those guys, right? Like you, I
Yeah, you got to go to
in,
California to know how much you love Texas.
There you go. That's right. You don't know how much you love it till you leave it, right?
But there are a lot of folks here, like me, who are coming to California, a lot of for economic reasons and political reasons, and just got to get out of that sort of, just the traffic alone will make you want to move out of LA at some point. But just talk to them a little bit about, raising your family here and, all the good things that Texas and Houston have to provide for folks that might be looking to come over here, their family and maybe folks that are just starting out in life.
And that's good, especially California. I got to be honest with you. My wife and I, we choose certain times of the year where we get back into LA and different areas and San Francisco, because there's a breeze that flows through there that makes some of the most beautiful flowers ever bloom. And I got to have that sometimes. They say, when are you going to California? I just got to see the flowers. I just got to be with the flowers. So that happens too. But in Texas, there's something that everybody longs for. I don't care where you are, and that's to be family. You can get to Houston and people you didn't know when you got here, within no time, 6 months, it's like we're family. You didn't meet me. I was supposed to meet you. We owe each other, so to speak. And that's what Houston has. When you come this way, you're never going to be without family and friends. You're going to owe so many people, so many things. Well, okay, I'll do it because you asked me, that kind of thing. But you go around the country, different parts of the world, no matter where you're from, it's not there all the time. And you long for it, to be indebted to people, to have friends that you can count on. We all need that, and that's where we can find it most, right here in Houston, Texas.
There's a lot of ways to make money in real estate, and there's even more ways that people tell you how you can make money in real estate. But what it really comes down to is making wealth, right? You've got to be about wealth creation. And here's what our mastermind simply asks. If you're between the ages of 35 and 60, you've got to carve out 5 years. You've got to take 5 years and dedicate yourself to creating wealth. Now, I know who you are. You're smart. You went to college. You have a good job. You're probably making 6 figures or more. You've got decent credit, probably have a family. You've got kids. All those things are what's taking up your daily life. We get it. Right now, your biggest thought is, how do I get my laundry done? Did the lawn guy come? What's for dinner? Do I have to stop at the supermarket to pick up food? And will I have any time to spend with my kids or my wife today? And we're asking you to stop and for 5 years to take some really acute focus your attention and go out and get 10 properties. Join our mastermind. Take 5 years out. Create your own wealth. This is critical. We are in the best market in the entire country to do this. And after 5 years, you can go back to doing whatever you want to do. You can make all those little league games. You can make all the dance recitals, but you're going to be set up. Your children are going to be set up. This is generational wealth. Or you can keep growing. You can go get 30, 40, 50 properties. But the first thing you have to do, listen to me, it's 10 houses. You got to go get them. Once you got them, then the world changes for you.
I'll tell you my little story that I tell folks. So I grew up in New Jersey. I lived in California, and now I'm a Texan. And I like to tell folks this. In New Jersey, if you get a flat tire, someone will pull over and help you, but they'll cuss at you, they'll yell and scream at you, but they'll fix your tire, and then they'll get in their car and they'll leave, right? In Southern California, if you get a flat tire, someone will sit there and talk to you about how hard and rough it is to get a flat tire, and immediately turn the conversation to all the flat tires they've had in their life. And here in Texas, someone will pull over, and not only will they help you fix the tire, but they'll make sure that everything is okay and they'll want to take an investment in you. And I said, finally, I'm in a community where both the help and the concern is aligned to my values. And that's why I love Texas.
Man, that's beautiful. And that's really beautiful.
Thanks.
And that was the size of things. I left boxing, and when I left boxing, I had my nice afro, my beloved mustache. I had it all. Then all of a sudden, I'd gone to church and I cut all these things off, and it was just me. And not only did I cut them off, I was 315 pounds after a while. No one knew me. So you stop at a store, sometime your battery go down, and you ask someone for battery, your battery cable. And the guy come out, take his thing out of his truck, give you a booster. And I said, how much do I owe you? I would say, get out here, biggin. And I'd never, I thought I had to be rich and famous to really have a good life here. That's why I went into boxing. Come to find out, I didn't need it here. I didn't need it. Everybody was kind and did you a favor and call you a nickname and move on. That's what Houston has meant for me. That's why after I got back into boxing, I said, I'm never going to be mean to anyone ever again. I'm going to be kind to people, because the 10 years I was out of boxing, I was nothing but give Biggin that extra seat. Everybody was kind to me and didn't have any idea that I had been the heavyweight champ of the world. They didn't know me anymore.
It's one of the things we explain to people. It's, on Texas here, it's going to be about who you are. Right? It's not your history. It's not where you came from. It's who you are, what service and how you're helping the community is how you'll be regarded out here. And I find that to be really refreshing.
Yeah, boy. And you can get a good identity. All you got to do is be kind. For the word of mouth is bigger than anything in the Houston area.
Sure.
If you're doing good, everybody's going to know about it. If you're trying to trick someone, everybody's going to know that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll all know that too.
So if you're kind and good and everything, it's going to get around, and there's always going to be a favor done for you because of the good.
Well, let's talk a little about your second retirement, when you went from boxing then into business, and your partnership with the, when you would put your name on the grill and all that sort of stuff. How was that transition, and the lessons you learned in boxing, how did that translate into the business world?
The biggest lesson I learned was boxing was always business. Some of us will get so mean and tough and hit the speed bag and blah, blah, blah. All we thought about was boxing itself. I remember I'd gone into Jamaica to fight Joe Frazier back in the day. I had no idea the water was clear and blue because I was so focused on the boxing match. I had no idea. They said, man, did you see the water there? I didn't look for any water. So, and then you come back and you get a second chance. You think about, man, I was in a good business there. You could make money. You can make friends, of course. And it was a good business. So I decided my return to boxing the second time, I was going to look at it as a business, treat everybody in a nice business fashion, but it wasn't just going to be all this forgetting about the color of the water. I was going to really have a good business. So when I gone back into boxing, I never stopped trying to find businesses. And I was the toast of Madison Avenue at one time. I did every commercial you could think of, from Doritos to McDonald's.
Sure.
I had it all. And I kept, man, this is good business, this boxing. And I didn't say this boxing. I said this, whatever I was doing, it was the business of boxing that got me together. And then finally, a friend of mine said, look, you're making all these companies so wealthy and you're doing all these commercials. Why don't you get your own company and make yourself wealthy? Mm-hmm. I said, okay, how much are you going to give me? No, start your own business. And since that time, and the first one, the successful venture, not the first business, but the first successful was the George Foreman grilling machine.
Sure.
It was a success because I worked at it. I worked. And And once again, all you got to do is be kind to people, and the word of mouth gets around, and you're owed favors again. People did me favors. We featured the grill on different television shows, and it turned out to be a success. And I've learned since then, never forget about business. Whatever you do, make a business of it. Even, the one thing that you give and not think about a business is you're being kind to people. That has nothing to do with business. You're not going to get rich on that, but you can sure feel good inside.
It's a good way to do business.
One of the things we like to say around here is it's more important how you make your money than how much.
Oh boy, how good to say that.
Yeah,
it's so
really
important how you make money. How much can't get you far. How you do it is, for the long stretch, is a great thing. You're right. That is absolutely right.
So, again, back to our community and the businesses, and they're gonna have to make their own comebacks, and hopefully it's there. And again, words of wisdom from George Foreman is moving forward. It's going to be better, and be good and be nice in your business. I mean, it's a real clear takeaway for these business owners out there that, are going to have some more challenges in the future and are coming out of it. So that's a beautiful sentiment there, George. Beautiful thoughts. Let's talk a little bit more about back to Houston. Just a couple fun things. Where's your go-to barbecue place, George?
Right now, it's Papa's Barbecue.
Nice.
And then what is the other one that we got? The big piece of rib. Pit Room.
The Pit
Room. Pit Room Barbecue.
All right, we're gonna
yes, it's off of Richmond. I went over there, and did I get a piece of meat? Then I was gonna wait until I got home, and by the time I got home, there was nothing to wait for. But that Papa's Barbecue, and then if you want to go off to the side, nice small business type atmosphere, is the Pit Room. I'm sorry, the Pit Room.
Pit Room.
All right, we're gonna put that on the list.
We'll put that on the list to go to.
Yeah, it is very good.
We'll tell him George Foreman sent us.
So George sent us over here.
Yeah, I sent you.
George, what's your go-to meat? Are you a 3-meat plate guy? Are you a rib guy? Are you a brisket guy? What do you like?
Yeah, when I do eat meat, I like these. Lately, they're available as the beef short ribs, the beef ribs.
Nice.
I love the beef ribs. And then, of course, my most famous asset in my life is a cheeseburger.
Yes, it is. You also own a ranch, do you not?
Yeah, we have a ranch. We moved in 1976, can you believe? Wow. Down to Marshall from California. I wanted to be out in the country, and we've kept that place. It's about 500 acres of dust and grass.
Dust and work. Always work on the ranch, right?
And work. And we keep lots of cattle. We have a cattle ranch, and I raise horses privately, and every other little animal we can squeeze, because my wife loved to raise chickens with fresh eggs and all those things.
Nice. Again, let's talk a little about the business owners and the entrepreneurs. One of those exercises we always go through with folks is what's your perfect day? So let me ask George Foreman, what's your perfect day look like?
I like to get up in the morning because I have a lot of animals to attend to. Even in this area, Houston area, I've raised German Shepherd dogs. And so I get up and play with the dogs. That's a perfect day for me, is to get up early in the morning and have time before it gets warm to play with the dogs.
That's great.
Then about late evening, I move down. We have horses, a little stable where we keep the horses, and I still ride, and I love riding the horses. That's perfection. Then, of course, irritating my wife. I love that. And she's, good morning. Did you say good morning or not? Let me see if I can remember. I love it. I've had a long marriage, and it's been the most wonderful thing that ever happened to me. If my wife is around, and she'll duck out on me when the weather and I guess everything is safe, and she loves to travel. So when she's here with me, that's perfect. I have about 15, getting ready to have 15 grandkids.
Wow.
Oh,
I love being in the presence of my grandkids. If I can see 2 or 3 in a day, perfection. Just hang around with them.
Nice.
That's up. And we talked about what I do when I got to eat. I find these wonderful places to eat, like Papa's Barbecue, and it's easy. You drive down the road, you can't miss it.
Yeah, you can't.
But that's it for me. And of course, I have a lot of business to do, and it takes on the phone. Like yesterday, we did a commercial. What would it be downtown? Yeah, Kirby area, Buffalo Speedway. That was a studio we did, a commercial, and it took all day. Now, one thing about that, when you're working, you're earning, that's a perfect day for me. And I love to earn. And a lot of boxers, especially athletes, we forget we're so interested in, I'm gonna make so much money and I'm gonna put this on the side, and you realize it doesn't matter how much money you make, you still gotta keep earning. You must keep earning. Yeah. And so I never forget that. Sometimes you make for a fight $1 million, and then afterwards someone offer you $500. You got to say to yourself, "Oh, that's earning. I'll take the 500." And so I love to earn. I never stop. A perfect day for me: time with the grandkids, time with my wife, a good barbecue plate, and to say to myself, "You did earn." Whether it's $150, it doesn't matter. You earn.
Beautiful.
I love
that. That's a great person.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm a big dog fan. I'm a big animal fan myself too. Where do you think that started for you? When did that sort of you catch that bug where you thought, hey, I'm gonna do a little husbandry here. I'm gonna work with animals. And I know all the way back, all the way back in your early career, you were the guy with the German Shepherds. So where do you think that came from, as a kid or somewhere along the way?
Yep, I remember my mom would move a lot. Don't ask me why. Always moving. She said I would tear up the houses. So the people asked her, "Could you kindly leave?" But anyway, a little story. Lassie used to come on when I was a little boy. Lassie, about the dog. And at the end of the story, the Lassie would pick up his paw. It looked like he was just waving by. And at the end of the so my mom would always move, and I'd always meet a new dog in the neighborhood. Next thing you know, I said, "Can I take the dog?" She said, "Boy, we can barely feed you. Get in that car and let's go." And looked like those dogs were always waving by. So I said, one day when I can afford it, I'm going to have a dog that I can keep with me. And no matter where I go, I'm taking my dog. And that's the whole secret behind the dog.
I'm a big animal fan myself, and we're looking for a dog. We only buy rescues because we think, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
And I don't want to bring us down, but I lost my other dog about a year ago, and I had no idea how impactful that animal was in my life. And God, I'm getting emotional right now just thinking about it, right? So yeah, we form that really great bond with those animals who just kind of give us love every day. And I appreciate you being a big fan of dogs as well.
Yeah, I love my dogs. I just keep them and forever. Every now and then sometimes the dog said, "But George, maybe you should put him down." I said, "That dog saved my life." They bark sometimes just when you need it, and I just can't put them down. So I hold them close to me, feed them. Every now and then I'll see one. They wait when I leave out, look for a break. They don't sit me around. Then they actually die. But they know if I'm around, they can't die. Yeah. So I keep up with the dogs like that. So it's a heartbreaking thing because they don't have a long life, but I share some of the best time in my life has been with my animals.
It's just there's absolutely plentiful love to give, right? That's
Yeah,
why we like to keep
you don't have to be worried about is it too much love or should you can get all the love you want, and they'll give it right back to you. And something goes wrong in your life, you're kind of sad. They'll ease their head right on your lap and make you pat them. Oh boy, the dogs really get kind to me, and the horses too. Only they'll buck you sometimes. They say, "Hey George, you put on a pound or two, you getting off." They say, I know I'm flying off in the ground. I love them.
Too much barbecue.
Yeah. So you talking barbecue, man, but you put that barbecue on my back.
That's funny.
They'll buck you, but I love them.
Yeah, I mean, us too. That's really important for us. Hey, we're just about done here. Is there anything that we want you want to talk about? Is there anything we should be promoting for you? We want folks to check out on your behalf, any new businesses, ministry, anything that we can help you with?
Everything is fine. I'm just happy to be speaking with you guys. Remember, I try to spell out love Houston. And the point is, with Houston, the best is yet to come. Believe me.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I wouldn't kid you.
Yeah, I believe it. It's we absolutely love the city. We think it's the absolute best place to be in the country, which is why we're here. It's why we've set all our businesses up here. George, I want to thank you for your time. It's been absolutely fantastic.
You know what, George, we would be remiss if we didn't give Patrick a big thank you.
Oh yeah, Patrick set all this up. Yeah.
Patrick is a mutual friend of ours. He's an absolute great guy. Just one of those classic guys you're going to find in Texas. Big guy, a little scary, and he's got the heart of a lion. He's just a great guy. So I want to give Patrick some props and thank him for helping us set this up.
I always look at Patrick as my other son.
Oh, looky there.
He'll do anything you ask him to do, he'll do it.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's classic folks we meet here. So again, George, it's been an honor. Thank you so very, very much. And we're looking for good things from you, good things from us, and good things from Houston.
All the best, guys.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Hey guys, if you like what you just saw, please like, subscribe, give us ring the bells and all that other good stuff. Now, if you want to see like raw footage when we're recording this stuff, go over to Facebook. Look for the Mr. Texas Real Estate Group with Robert Orfino and Jason Bible, and join that group and set your notifications over there so that you can see the raw feed when we come in, and that's every day. Thanks, guys.
I've been waiting all night for you to tell me what you want. Tell me that you need me. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me what you want. Yeah. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me what you want. Tell me that you need me. I've been waiting